one of the things that kind of gets under my skin at times is, people just want this tournament. A lot of people just want this tournament to go away, and they speak poorly of it, and they try and make our team out to be a joke. But we love this competition. We want to play this competition. Yeah. And as young kids growing up outside of the US and Europe, this is our one shot to go up against the best, go up against the Americans in a team format. And so we love it. And we have a ton of passion. We can't focus too much on what everybody else is saying. All we can do is try and focus on our preparation and how we think that we can fulfill our potential and get the best out of ourselves. But look, I don't think you have to be a genius to see that we're underdogs. I mean, there's no doubt about that. You look at the roster of American players, their accomplishments, their experience, where they are in the world rankings. On paper, they absolutely are favorites. But, you still got to go out there and play. And so we look forward to that opportunity to see how we stack up against the best.
I want to talk about a couple of the specific guys on your team, but I think first, inevitably, we have to talk about a couple of guys that are not on your team. You've faced a hurdle that, pretty much no captains have faced, at least in our lifetimes in team golf, which is guys disqualifying themselves by leaving the PGA Tour. That's put you in a seat that we've been in, I guess, of trying to figure out, okay, who's going, which rumors are true? Are these guys on the fence? Can they be convinced to stay? What has that process been like?
It's been tough. It's been very tough. I am thankful that all of those players in question were very open and honest with me, exactly where they stood and where in the process they were. So I probably knew a little bit more than the general public out there, but still, nonetheless, it was tough to keep my mouth shut at times. It was tough as I was trying to figure out how I was going to make adjustments for the situation that we were going to be in. You can't dwell on where we would have been. Can't dwell on the players that are leaving. If we're in this situation now, how can I find the best way around this to put the collective and the international team in the best possible spot that they can be? And we feel like we came up with an extremely capable 12 players that have a huge mountain in front of them, but are hungry to give it a go.
Were there any surprises from that process? I imagine you had a lot more lead time on some of those decisions, but were there any that jumped out of nowhere?
No, there were none that jumped out of nowhere. There's many reasons as to why these players had to play it in this particular manner. I don't agree with all of them, but at the end of the day, it's not my life, it's their life and their decision and their career and talent, and they have to decide how they're going to go about it. Was I disappointed that we lost some players that would have ordinarily have been on the team? No doubt. You look at the players in question there, whether it be Smith, Neiman, Answer, those guys were a huge part of our core group throughout the process and in 2019 down in Australia. You could throw Louis Oosthuizen in there as well. He would not have been in the automatic 8 qualifiers at the end when the cutoff came for our qualification period. But nonetheless, he would have had an opportunity to get a captain's pick. And yeah, so I was disappointed that we had to deal with that. The Americans had something similar, but they have an extremely deep bench with a lot of youngsters coming through. So probably didn't cause Davis as many sleepless nights as it did for me. But, it is what it is. You can't cry about it. You can't moan about it. You can't make excuses. Like I said, we have 12 players that are hungry. They're excited to be there. They're excited to have this opportunity. They were loyal. They knew that if they stay on the PGA Tour, they're going to have an opportunity to play in the President's Cup. And I will say that all the players that left had just so that there's no misunderstanding here, they had a very clear understanding and perspective of what the consequences would be with the decisions that they were making. And so when they made those decisions, they factored all of these things in. And it was a part of the process for them deciding what they were going to do. And so that's why I say 12 players that wanted to be there and 12 players that wanted to be on the team. And really, at the end of the day, when we get into the battle and into the fight, those are the 12 that I want there.
You were a assistant captain or vice captain, however people like to refer to it, down in Australia. Ernie was the lead captain. What did you learn from him that week? Now that, I guess it's 3 years ago now, long time ago, but what did you take away from that?
So much, so much. First of all, he gave us an identity. He gave us an identity with having a flag, having a logo, having team colors. I mean, it sounds kind of ridiculous when you consider that this event's been played since the early 90s, and we never had that. And all that time we were trying to be taken seriously. We were trying to be a real team, but we were missing some obvious pieces, just that was right in front of us. And so he gave us that, and I thought that was an important hurdle for us to overcome. You know, you have players from 7, 8, 9 different regions as the international team, and we would all pitch up from different countries representing those countries. And in 2019, for the first time, we were representing the Shield.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was quite meaningful and powerful.
One thing you've been doing that I absolutely love, and is frankly has warmed me up to cheering for the international team, is you've been unafraid to get on Twitter. Like, you're not afraid to say, come on, guys, like, we're here too. Is that just your instincts taking over? Or how much have you had to avoid, like, going super deep on the social media front?
I gotta say, I don't really avoid it. I just that's me. That's me being me. I'm a competitive guy at heart, obviously. That fire absolutely burns down inside, but I like to have a little fun, and I think social media should be fun. I appreciate it when people send messages. Sometimes they're a little cheeky. Sometimes they're a little mean. Sometimes they're supportive, and you just kind of roll with it. In a lot of ways, it depends what mood I'm in the moment. You know, am I a little bit irritable, and has there been stuff going on that gets under my skin, and then I may open it up and see something and have a go at someone. Hey, that's just how I'm feeling in the moment. Other times, I'm in a bit more of a playful mood, and I want to go back and forth with some guys like yourself that are in the game and paying close attention. I enjoy that. I enjoy the back and forth. I think it's a lot of fun. I don't take myself too seriously at all. It's just a sport at the end of the day. Obviously, we're preparing our butts off, and we're gonna fight till the death. But hey, it's just sport, and I love everybody that's paying attention, whether they think I'm an idiot or whether they think I'm a genius with things I say and the decisions I make. At least they're paying attention, and I can live with that. I can handle their opinion.
You've spent a lot of time with these guys. Who's going to be the tone setter, the leader in the locker room? And then who's maybe like the funniest guy or someone whose sense of humor we might not fully understand without spending some time around them?
Yeah, look, Adam Scott is the on-course leader. This is going to be his 10th President's Cup.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Which is it's kind of mind-boggling when you think about it.
Yeah.
The fact that he's been able to stay on these teams for 2 decades and be at this elite level for that long. We really do tip our cap to him and give him a ton of respect for that. He's been a huge part of the process for me throughout these last 2 years. He's one of my closest friends anyway. We grew up playing junior golf together and have been close ever since. So he's been a guy that I've leaned on and relied on a lot through this process. I was so impressed by the last few weeks in the playoffs when, he really was well outside the top 30 in the FedEx Cup standings. And he just kept telling me, I don't want you to pick me. I want to earn my way. I want to earn my way. And, the way he played that inspired golf, those first 2 playoff events, I want to say he was 5th both weeks, played his way into the Tour Championship. Like, that meant a lot to me, and that meant a lot to our team. He's the inside the ropes leader, and there's no doubt about that. As far as a guy that would catch you off guard, there's a number of them. The Korean guys are funny. They are funny. great sense of humor. KH Lee is sneaky funny with these one-liners, and the way he puts it into English and throws it out there at the right time. He has us laughing quite regularly. Siwoo Kim is another. And then Tom Kim, he's going to be the life of the party. I mean, this kid is 20 years old. He has more energy than any of us. He is super excited at all times and always on the go, always needing to be doing something, wants to know what's happening next. And so he's going to bring the energy for sure.
I love it. Well, Trevor, thank you for your time. Good luck next week. You got me pulling for you. I think Dylan's in the same boat now. We've committed to Team International for the President's Cup. Wow. And well, you've earned two more supporters, right, Dylan?
I love it. I love it. I love it. Bring your friends.
Bring our friends. Sounds good.